Hi, my name is Ken.
And my name is Jason.
And today we're reviewing
Dominion.
So, you may have noticed, if you actually have followed us thus far, that we actually changed locations for today. Before we were actually filming in my garage, and it's a little chilly in there. But it's nice and warm in here, pretty classy, nice and comfy. What do you say, Jay?
Well, it's more well lit too, so hopefully that'll help things.
How many meeples would you give this arrangement?
I'd give it a 4.
Give it a 4?
4.
4 to 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would probably give this a range. Oh, wait. Oh, are we supposed to review board games?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, we should probably get on that then. What are we doing today? So Dominion is a deck-building resource management game. It was released in 2008 and was instantly a big hit. It actually even already has some pretty sweet expansions.
We're just looking at the original set for Dominion today, but we will review the expansions at a later date.
Of course. So Dominion is technically a card game, but it's placed against board games by some pretty hardcore board gaming enthusiasts. So we're going to place it among board games too, just because. So just to explain how Dominion works, a deck building game is similar to, say, like a TCG or a CCG, collectible card game or tradable card games. Not unlike Magic the Gathering, everybody's heard of that.
What is this game that you speak of?
Magic the Gathering. But regardless, the nice thing about Dominion is you actually come to the table with the same resources and you're actually building the deck at the table, which I personally think is really cool because it puts everybody on an even playing ground. Skill matters in this sense, but not in the way that the skill of just buying all the sweet rares works in a collectible card game. The game is simply played by gaining cards for your deck, which represents a whole kingdom. The nice thing is that they actually put a little bit of flavor into these cards, and the cards actually work like you would expect them to. So, for example, if you have a whole village, you get more actions, and you get a little bit of cards too. Just one, but it's enough to sort of represent the fact that the village is producing something for you and you're getting something out of it, in addition to giving you more labor.
And basically, the goal of the players is to have the most victory points at the end of the game.
Victory points in this game actually represent your kingdoms, so it might represent the property you own an estate on, or it could represent an entire province that you own. This is some good gold. I'm going to go shopping with this, and where'd it go? Alright, well, I'll just see what else I have over here. Alright. No gold. This all I seem to be able to find are these estates and this province. What are we going to do with this? First off, Dominion has cards. Lots and lots of cards. These are the basic cards used in Dominion. We have treasure cards, victory cards, curse cards, and the trash card. Treasure cards, copper, silver, and gold, are worth 1, 2, and 3 coins, respectively. Victory points, which are the estate, duchy, and province, are each worth 1, 3, and 6 victory points, respectively. Curse cards, on the other hand, subtract 1 point for every curse that you have. See here? And the trash card is just a placeholder for noting which cards have been removed from the game. These are the randomizers and the blue-backed placeholder cards. There are blue-backed placeholder cards for every single one of the basic cards except for the trash card. These cards are not actually used in the game outside of being flipped over like such to note that this deck has been depleted. So I've just taken out the ones for the estate, duchy, and provinces here, but there are some for the treasure cards and the curse card as well. There is also one placeholder card for every single kingdom card in the deck. I'll get to the kingdom cards in a moment. Essentially, these are the way in which you use to randomize the cards. These are the kingdom cards used in Dominion. These are the meat of the game. There are 25 in the base set, As you can see, I only have 5 decks of them out here right now. If you wish to see a copy of each one of them, you need look no further than the blue-backed randomizer deck that I showed you in the last section. And you can see that there is a copy of every single one of the 25 cards in the game. So, to set up. First you need to get out all your victory cards, your treasure cards, the curse cards, and the trash card. And then your cards should be arranged like such. If we just went a little too fast for you there, feel free to pause and catch up to us if you're setting up along with us for some reason. So after you've set up the board, the next part is preparing for your players. So first count out 7 copper per player. Next, you want to count out 3 estates for each player. So I should note that if you are playing with 2 players, you want to instead count out 8 of each of the victory cards instead of just the 12 that you would normally have. In the case of the estates, you would have 8 cards plus the 3 that you would deal out to both players. With more players, you'll still have 12 cards, just like you will with all the other victory cards, but you will then have 12 plus 3 for each player. So in a 3-player game, you'd have 12 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. This is the 3rd player. Use your imagination. Next, you count out the curses. You'll have 10 curses in a 2-player game, 20 curses in a 3-player game, and 30 curses in a 4-player game. Basically, 10 for every player above 1. Nice and simple. Next, you're going to want to get out the randomizer cards. Shuffle those up. And you're going to want to count out 10 of them. Now there are some basic setups in the rules for standard types of play or themed types of play, but eventually you're probably just going to rely on 10 random cards. So that's what we're going to do here. So this is the spread of 10 random cards that we have gotten through the randomizer deck. You can now put this back in the box and only bother taking it out again when you wish to either break down the game or set up a new one. So finally, after you've gotten your kingdom cards for each of the randomly chosen blue-backed bits, and you have them all set down the table, you are now making sure that everybody has their starting player decks shuffled, and you're ready to go. At the start of the game, each player draws up to 5 cards. You then randomly determine who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors works the best. Or you can just have a round of combat and dungeon quest, one of the two. Each turn has 3 phases: the action phase, the buy phase, and the cleanup phase. This can be easily remembered with the acronym A, B, C. During the action phase, you have 1 action. 1 action allows you to play 1 action card, which you'll note a lot of the kingdom cards, if not all of them, are all action cards. 1 card played is 1 action used. Some cards grant you additional actions. An example of that would be the village. If you have cards granting you multiple actions, the easiest way to display this is to make a sort of pyramid or tree. Say, an example, I start my turn with the smithy. That is 1 action. I would then draw 3 cards from the top of my deck, and that is it for my action phase. I would then go on to the buy phase. Alternatively, if I instead played the festival, I get +2 actions, +1 buy, and +2 coins. 2 actions means I am then able to play 2 more action cards. +1 buy means that during the buy phase, I get 1 additional buy. And +2 coins means I am considered to have 2 more coins for the purposes of buying more cards. With the additional 2 actions, I could then play a smithy to draw 3 cards from the top of my deck, and perhaps another smithy to draw 3 cards off the top of my deck. Alternatively, if I had picked up, say, the village here as my second action, I could then draw +1 card, and then I have 2 more actions. If I had more cards to play, say I had 2 more smithies, I could just play them here and draw an additional 3 cards and an additional 3 cards. Building this tree, this pyramid, helps the other players sort of figure out what the heck you're doing, because if you just sort of drop a whole bunch of cards on the table and say, I'm doing all these things, most people are probably going to shoot you. Next is the buy phase. So during this phase, the simplest way of showing everybody what you have is to display your whole hand. So you would probably display your hand like such. You'd probably rearrange your hand in such a way that the estates would be off to the side, because they do not do anything during this phase. So if this was your whole hand here, this means that you probably didn't play anything during the action phase, and that you ended up with 4 coppers. Each copper is worth 1 coin, which means that during this buy phase, you would have 4 coins. With 4 coins, I could purchase a remodel that's worth 4 coins. I could purchase a village, which is worth 3 coins, and so forth. I could purchase a few more things here as well. Note that although I have 4 coins, and though a card such as the moat only costs 2 coins, I could still only purchase 1 moat. The reason why I can only purchase 1 moat is because I only have 1 buy. Just like I only had 1 action during the action phase, unless I have cards granting me more, I only have 1 buy during the buy phase, unless I have cards granting me more. Finally, during the cleanup phase, you simply discard all cards to your discard pile, and you draw 5 more cards. And that is it for the cleanup phase. If you ever have trouble remembering the phases, just remember A, B, C. If at any point you go to draw a card from the top of your deck, and there are no cards in your deck, you simply take your discard pile, shuffle it all together, replace it as your new draw deck, and then continue drawing cards off at the top. So I need 2 more cards. I've taken that. I now have my hand of 5.